Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I want to call this meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Do I have a motion to approve this evening's agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? The agenda has been approved. I'm going to go into President's remarks. I want to thank John Viola and his team for their hard work, thorough and professional handling of this important matter. Thanks also to the companies who prepared and submitted proposals and took considerable and conscientious time and energy to do so. The process leading to tonight and after tonight's meeting, initially there was a request for proposals issued September 16th, 2024. John Viola's team worked with bidders to resolve questions, permit inspection of food and beverage amenities, and provide information. John Viola's team included Linda Martin, Steve Phillips, Josh Davis, with legal counsel involved as needed on legal issues. Proposals were submitted October 18th of 2024. 3 proposals were submitted. 2 others were interested but decided not to submit. Between October 18th and last week, the 3 submitted proposals were analyzed and considered carefully and thoroughly by the management team, keeping the board updated, focusing on 4 broad criteria. Proposal response: how extensive and thorough was the proposal? Infrastructure: the capabilities of bidder operationally, staff and management-wise, and personnel and HR processes. Projected P&L, financial projections, including financial return to Ocean Pines. And vision: what was the vision of the bidder for itself and for its management of Ocean Pines food and beverage amenities? Last week, the management team met in closed session with the board and legal counsel, and after a lengthy discussion of the proposals, made its recommendation to the board as to which bidder to select, explaining fully its reasoning and thought processes in that regard. The board has always considered the decision-making and analysis of these proposals to be principally an operational management responsibility. It further trusts the capabilities and judgment of John Viola's management team in this regard, and is always, as a group, intended to give deference to the management team's recommendations, while also be cognizant of fulfilling our fiduciary duties. The purpose of tonight's meeting is to vote on a motion to accept management's recommendation as to the selected bidder, authorize management to proceed with contract negotiations with the selected bidding company. Should contract negotiations result in an agreed contract at a subsequent special or regular board meeting, the board will consider and vote on a motion to authorize John Viola to execute a contract. As to revealing the identity of the selected bidder, this will not happen tonight. The board does not know the identity of the winning bidder. It will happen only after the contract negotiations are completed and agreed set of contract terms has been arrived at. The board and management believe that the interests of Ocean Pines Association are best served by maintaining confidentiality as to the identity of the selected bidder until there is an agreed and fully negotiated set of contract terms. This approach is also fair to the counterparty as a contract negotiations proceed from here. This approach is also consistent with many other contract situations where sensitive contract negotiations are ongoing and have not been completed, and an agreed set of contract terms has not yet been arrived at with the negotiating counterparty. We're going to move into public comments. I'm going to open the floor to public comments. Anybody wishing to make a public comment must state their name and address, and you're limited to 5 minutes, and it can only pertain to tonight's agenda. Josh, is there anybody willing to or wanting to make a public comment?
Nope.
Nobody in the room.
No one in the room.
Seeing no public comments, I will close the floor to public comments. New business. I have a motion to authorize the general manager to begin negotiations of a food and beverage contract. Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion? Yes, go ahead, Monica.
No, I did the second.
Okay, is there any discussion?
Yes,
Jane?
yes, I'd just like to reiterate a lot of what you said. I think all of us are extremely thankful to John Viola and his team, the work group that worked on this. It was, done in a manner that would be the most fair to all parties involved, and allow us to really make a very clear understanding of the differences of the different bidders, without any other thoughts. We were really able to look at the data in an extremely fair way. And I think they did a terrific job on that. And it was a very long meeting. We had a lot of questions. They did a great job of answering that for us. And I think our community can be assured that this was an extremely fair process, and we'll see who.
Okay, anybody else to discuss? John Latham?
Yeah, I just wanted to add a little bit to that, but I thought the process that we went through thus far was extremely professional, and being a person that actually works in kind of procurement space, it was very, very impressive. I really, I thought that for the criteria that were used, the infrastructure, projected P&L, vision, was very, very well thought out by the respondents, and it was very, very clear that we put forth a very good RFP.
Monica?
Yeah, I just want to reach out to John and his team for hiring an RFP specialist. We brought in somebody well beyond our means to help us through this process. And I think that's probably.
Restaurant liquor.
And restaurant liquor, yeah, expertise. So I think we have done our due diligence and have tried to put our best foot forward to bring the best opportunity to the membership that we can.
Yes, Rick?
Yeah, I'd like to also piggyback onto what my colleagues have said, and also included on John's team was Eddie Wells, so I think also played a very integral role in with this as well. And one of the things that I kind of honed in on with this whole process was the vision of the respondents and where they're going to take all of our food and beverage into the future, and being able to see that. And also the P&L, very, very important to us here in Ocean Pines as far as with our financials and what it's going to do as far as returns to Ocean Pines. I think that was very, very important. And it was very clear and very concise. And that was very, very important to me to see that. And to piggyback on what my colleague says, I think this definitely is going to be at the best interest of Ocean Pines moving forward.
Jeff?
Thank you, Stuart. Our function is really to analyze the data that John Viola and his team presented to us. And I'll never say that he made it easy, but he made it clear, crystal clear as to what the choice should be. And the data was presented to us in a standard accepted business practice format. And it definitely made our job easier. Thank you.
Stephen?
Yeah, thanks, Stuart. I want to agree with everything that everyone else has said. I think John and his team have conducted a comprehensive and professional operation by keeping Ocean Pines' best interests in mind. And I think it's essential that we trust the process as we go forward. Our goal should be, and I think is, to ensure that we maximize revenues from our food and beverage facilities. And frankly, assuming the issue of who the recommended party is, by keeping the identity of the applicants confidential, we've removed any particular advantage that one candidate might have over any other candidate. That makes the process neutral on its face and neutral throughout until we complete the contract process. And I believe I'm correct that the board will meet again in open session to vote once the contract negotiation is complete. So there will be another contract
Yeah.
there'll be another vote take place.
Yeah.
And we'll go from there. But that, I think we're in good shape, and again, kudos to our professional staff for all that they've done.
Thank you, Steve. I'm going to suspend Robert's rules for a moment. John, Viola, do you have anything you'd like to add?
I just want to say thank you for the support of the board and everybody, and let's get on to next steps. Thank you all.
Here.
I'm going to reinstate Robert's rules. I just want to thank John Viola again for the Herculean task you undertook, the time to vet, and to give the board your recommendations. I call in question all in favor of the motion to authorize the general manager to begin negotiations of a food and beverage contract. Please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Motion passes. I'll also entertain a motion to adjourn our meeting. Do I have a second?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Have a good evening, guys. Thank you very much for your time.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Cheers.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving all.